This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Yes, here we go. Follow the Money. VSiN, the sports betting network, live from Circa, Sirius XM, channel 158 on a Football Friday. Great show, busy show coming up. Ben Stevens on week 0 in half an hour. Our college football analyst, Alec Bussey on Farmageddon. Chuck Edel, the Iceman, preseason, week 0. Brett McMurphy to talk college football. Nigel Seeley with some soccer. 3-1 last week. Got a busy program coming up with good preseason action and a lot of movement. Padres, Dodgers, Yankees, Red Sox. Scott Seidenberg along for the ride. Good to see you. How you doing, friend? What's going on?
I'm feeling good because coming off a big night in NFL preseason last night, cashing some tickets, feeling good about tonight's games, and I'm reacting to all the movement, Paulie. We have seen so much line movement, as expected here with a lot of NFL preseason games, but we're also seeing line movement on regular season openers as well. I'm fascinated by all this stuff.
Yeah, so you had it right last night. I should have seen this. The Patriot money came late. I know the Giants didn't play anybody, but still it's a strong quarterback room, and the Giants are the champs of the preseason as they pound the Pats. But there was a good angle here, which they're probably going to have to cut Tommy Cutlets, and he looked great, and the Giants blow out New England because you're going Dart, Winston. I thought so they could trade Winston, but still Dart, Winston, and then Tommy Cutlets, and they were fantastic offensively yet again.
And that's what you're looking for in the preseason, right? You're looking for these situational handicaps, and the deep quarterback rooms are the teams that you want to bet on. And for the New York Giants, last night was a perfect storm. It was at home, where Tommy DeVito is a fan favorite. It was likely his last appearance in a New York Giants uniform, and Brian Daboll was going to do right by him. The word came out that DeVito was going to play the entire second half, and I felt, and most bettors that bet the Giants felt, that Daboll was going to let him cook, because it's not just about with the preseason. It's not just about how you do in that game for the current team that you're playing for. You're also trying to put stuff on film to maybe be picked up by another team. And so Brian Daboll knows that Tommy DeVito's the odd man out in this quarterback room. And I felt that last night he was going to do right by Tommy, give him every opportunity to put stuff on film so that another team picks him up. He threw for almost 200 yards and 3 touchdowns in that second half.
And someone had the information, and Al Michaels had the information, that Woolridge was going the whole way for the Patriots, and he was pathetic. That was also big information, as Vrabel told Michaels that as well. The other one, the Steelers covered. It was typical Tomlin, 19-10, kicking field goals left and right. Thompson was good. And vicious beat if he had Carolina first half money line. I couldn't believe that.
Well, how about the drama at the end of the game? Carolina's driving in the final minutes. There's 20-somewhat seconds left. They're in field goal range. If they kick a field goal, this line had some disparity. Some books had 6, some books had 6.5. Carolina could have kicked the field goal and said, hey, we're just trying to get our kicker some reps here in the preseason. Instead, they run some plays, they let the clock run out, and the game ends 19-10.
Fascinating. Good stuff. Both games were on TV, and it was awesome with the line movement as well. We're both on the Jets tonight. This is great. This is a fun handicap. So they were pathetic against the Giants on Saturday night. The passing game was atrocious. Tell people what happened after that.
So on Sunday, and word came out about this on Wednesday, so nobody knew about this until Wednesday of this week. The Jets held a secret practice on Sunday. I love this story. No coaches were there except for Aaron Glenn, the head coach, and the players ran the drills themselves. Garrett Wilson was quoted as saying, "We went at it," for about an hour or so. And what this tells me is that normally, a coach goes into the final week of the preseason thinking, I'm building my roster, I'm trying to figure out who my fourth stringers are, I'm building a practice squad, and we just want to get out of here healthy. But Aaron Glenn was so bothered by the Jets' performance on Saturday night against the Giants that he made his team practice on Sunday behind closed doors, no media invited. They lied about it. They said it was just a private little walkthrough, and I think it signals that he's coaching to win this game tonight, and the players will respond tonight for Aaron Glenn. And we've seen this line move here at Circa now. The Jets are up to a 3-point favorite, Paulie.
You can lay a half in the first half at Circa. There's ones at other spots if you want to do first half. So I'm with you with the Jets as well. And Philly's defense has been awful in the preseason. They don't care. The champs. And I'm with you that the Jets and Glenn trying to get this one. And there is 2.5 out there if you would like on this game coming up. I also like the Cowboys. Atlanta doesn't care. We've been over this again. Raheem Morris is 0-5, coach of the Falcons in the preseason. It's no Penix. It's no Cousins. Emory Jones is gone. Concussion, let go. And it's going to be Easton Stick for Atlanta. Now, again, the guy got me last year, Week 18. I couldn't believe it. Joe Milton looked like Tom Brady out there, but he's been awful for the Cowboys. But can Dallas cover the 2 tonight? I think they can against the Atlanta team that doesn't care.
I like maybe Dallas in the second half.
Okay.
Because who's likely going to play at quarterback in the second half for Atlanta? Newly signed Ben DiNucci.
They picked up Benny. That's right.
Who's been there for a week.
Yep.
So it's kind of like what we saw from the Panthers last night, where Bryce Perkins comes in on Monday. Now he's playing in a preseason game on Friday.
Yeah.
Ben DiNucci comes in this week, and now all of a sudden he's going to play in the bulk of the time, maybe in the second half for the Falcons here. So I'm not going to trust that. It's going to be a very bland playbook, obviously, because he doesn't know the playbook. He's only been there for a couple of days. So I think maybe the Cowboys have the edge, or I would just go under in the second half.
Okay, and week 1 now, the Eagles, you can find 6.5s on the Eagles now, which is interesting in light of what happened yesterday. Jerry Jones was on Michael Irvin's YouTube channel, and if, again, you watch the documentary on Netflix, they love each other. And the respect that Jerry has for Michael Irvin, even what happened in his personal life, and he just, hey, you won us some Super Bowls, you put your life on the line, and you put it out there, you played so hard, we love each other. So he was on his YouTube channel, and he broke down what's going on with the Cowboys and Parsons, and Jerry blaming the agent here.
When we wanted to send the details to the agent told us to stick it up our. We had our agreements on term, amount, guarantees, everything. We were going to send it over to the agent, and the agent said, don't bother because we've got all that to negotiate. Well, I'd already negotiated. I'd already moved off my mark on several areas.
He thinks we have an agreement, it's done. This is against the CBA. That you can't negotiate with the player without the agent in the room.
What year is this?
Yes, I know.
Jerry's still living in the 70s.
Yes, he is.
You spit in his hand and you shake it, and that's it. It's a done deal. No, that's not how it works.
Eye contact and a handshake.
That's not how it works.
Unbelievable.
We have rules now. You need this is violating the CBA. You're right. The agent is involved for a reason. I have always felt, Paulie, that Micah Parsons will play in week 1 for the Dallas Cowboys. That this was Jerry buying into the whole saga that is the Dallas Cowboys, right? He loves to be in the news. He was quoted during the press conference at the Hollywood premiere of this documentary saying, hey, when things are slow, I stir it up. So I just said this is Jerry being Jerry, and it's going to be like Dak Prescott last year, and he's going to sign week 1 of, or the first week of September, and he'll play in week 1. The difference last year to this year, though, is that Dak was practicing last year, and Micah is not. The more this saga goes along...
He's not playing, Scott.
That's where I am now.
Yeah.
The more this goes, and seeing Micah remove the Cowboy stuff from his social media, put something on TikTok saying, no matter what team I play for, I'm going to win, I think he's gone.
Yep.
Or even if he's not gone, he's not playing in week number 1, which is why this move actually surprises me, why the Cowboys would go from 7-point dogs to 6.5.
Last 4 years, the Cowboys are the league's best defense with Parsons on the field by EPA per play. They're the league's second worst defense over the same stretch when he's not on the field. The other thing is, I think Samich mentioned this yesterday, by waiting with Dak, Lamb, and Parsons to pay them, a conservative estimate, the Cowboys have cost themselves and Jerry $84 million by playing this game and what he's doing. So he also said I was going to give him like $200 million in guaranteed cash, and he'd be the biggest, highest paid player non-quarterback. But now that was a long time ago, and then Garrett got his money and Watt got his money. So it's ugly here. And then what you said, how Parsons reacted as well, and Jerry went on. Jerry just blamed the agent for 15 minutes straight with Michael Irvin, saying, hey, what's the problem? We worked everything out. You just sign on the line that is dotted. I'll fax it over. And the guy says, go pound sand.
I don't get this. I really don't. I mean, he's one of your marquee players, if not your most important player, non-quarterback, obviously, because you can't win without a quarterback. But we know how important edge rushers are. And we always say this when it comes to NFL contracts. It's not so much who you are, it's when you are, right? And the longer you wait, as you mentioned, everybody else gets their deals. Garrett got his deal. Watt got his deal. And now you just have to up the ante on the offer, or else the player's not going to be happy.
One more, too. There was a trade. Robinson to the 49ers.
I think this says more about the 49ers' depth
That's right.
in the running back room than it does about Christian McCaffrey. I know the early reaction is, well, maybe they're worried about McCaffrey. No, they're worried about their backups because all of the backups are hurt.
Correct.
They haven't been able to practice with Patrick Taylor. Garendo's dealing with a shoulder, so you need healthy bodies. And right now, you don't really have a trusted backup because no one's practiced here and no one's played in the preseason. So in order to take the load off of McCaffrey here, final week of the preseason also, get another body in that room. And I think it's a good trade for them.
Yeah, and Kingsbury and Quinn talked about the depth that they have now when you saw those guys, those young guys rip up a couple long runs on Monday Night Football.
You mean Bill? Jacory, who wants to be called Bill now?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Those guys were good in the Monday. The Bengals can't stop anything, though. Clock's ticking. Week 0 tomorrow. Farmageddon. NFL just weeks away. Get VSiN Pro. Lock in your edge. New subscribers, instant access to both our college football and NFL betting guides, team previews, power ratings, betting systems, best bets from every analyst, the morning email from Bill 80, the real-time betting splits, the market insights, and it's so important. I got to stress this again. Every best bet, every host, every guest. So that's whether it's the WNBA or Nigel with the soccer who went 3-1 last week, the Meat Man or the NFL stuff, the college football, the betting splits, the market insights, the betting systems from Mackinnon. The prop analyzer will blow you away with the NFL, the dog videos, tools, data, pro systems. Start today just $9.99 or save 50% off with the annual plan. Sign up now, vsin.com/subscribe. The NFL preseason wraps up this weekend, but these teams may regret not playing their starters. Scott with an incredible breakdown coming up on Follow the Money.
So, Paulie, have you had a chance to read the VSiN Daily yet?
Yeah, came in at 3 a.m. What's Bill doing up that late?
Well, rumor has it, it starts off with a 12-hour meditation session.
Then he just pours himself over film and live TV, really focusing and taking it all in. Bill's in with the biggest insiders, talking trade secrets, strategies, the whole nine, absorbing the info.
And then and only then can the writing process begin.
In Las Vegas, Bill's late night becomes your early morning. Wake up to the very latest betting insights in your inbox with the VSiN Daily. Sign up for free at vsin.com/newsletter.
On the next Numbers Game, Gil Alexander is back on the desk, and we have a big announcement to share with the Numbers Game audience. Paul Sporer will join the show, as he always does on Mondays. We'll hit MLB with him and discuss what he likes on the DFS slate for the day. Wes Reynolds joins the show to recap the Tour Championship and College Football Week 0. Plus, we'll look ahead to Week 1 with Wes. And with the U.S. Open underway, we go country clubbing. Plus, an update on NFL futures bets Gil and I have made. All that and more, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Do you play your starters in the preseason? Do you play your quarterbacks? If so, how long? And a lot of times, if you don't play them, they look rusty and get off to a slow start week one. That's what you think. That's what we know. That's what seems what it looks like going back year after year after year. Scott, what did you find going back, and do these teams pay the price if they sit people?
Yeah, so I looked at all quarterback play in week one of the NFL season, and I isolated it to the last 4 seasons because we know in 2021 the schedule changed, Paul. You went to a 17-game schedule, and thus the preseason went to a 3-week preseason instead of a 4-week preseason, except for the teams that play in the Hall of Fame game. So of the 128 starting quarterbacks in week number 1 over the last 4 seasons, 21, 22, 23, and 24, 39 of those quarterbacks did not take a single drop back in the preseason. I mentioned dropbacks as opposed to snaps because if a quarterback starts a preseason game, hands the ball off 3 times, and then they punt, and then he leaves the game, that does them no good, right? Mm-hmm. So 39 quarterbacks have taken 0 preseason dropbacks over the last 4 seasons. On average, those quarterbacks in week number 1 of the NFL regular season, a negative 2.55 ATS margin, so they're not covering the spread by 2.5 points. Their team totals go under by 3.2 points per game. The games go under by 4 points, and we know week ones go under anyway. Mm-hmm. The first half ATS margin is almost negative 2. Their first half team totals, negative 1.76 points, and the first halves go under by 1.6 points. Bottom line, you don't play a single snap in the preseason, or you don't get a single drop back in the preseason, you suffer in week number 1. You start the season slow, and you go below expectation. And so here are the quarterbacks that we have to keep an eye on.
Right, yeah.
Quarterbacks that have not taken a single snap here or single drop back here in the preseason. Michael Penix of Atlanta, Josh Allen, Buffalo, Lamar Jackson, Baltimore.
I don't get the first one, do you?
No, because he needs all the reps in the world.
I know. I don't get that. Jackson, of course. Allen, of course.
Yep.
I'm fine. Yeah.
Joe Flacco, Cleveland. Dak Prescott, Dallas. Jared Goff, Detroit. Stafford, and we know Stafford's dealing with the back injury, but also the Rams they don't ever play anybody in the preseason. Jalen Hurts of Philly, Rodgers in Pittsburgh, and Baker Mayfield in Tampa. So let's look at the week 1 games, Paul. We have a couple of these quarterbacks that are playing each other.
Yep.
Dallas and Philly. Dak Prescott against Jalen Hurts. I would lean towards a first half under in this game. It's a 23.5 right now, first half under. That would be a lean for me because I think both the quarterbacks start off slow. Tampa and Atlanta, Baker Mayfield and Michael Penix both haven't played in the preseason, but you just said it. If I gave you the choice of which quarterback you would trust more with 0 preseason reps, I think it would be Baker over Penix.
Oh, yeah.
And then you have Baltimore, Buffalo, Lamar, and Josh Allen. That's the highest total of these games, 51.5. Cleveland, Cincinnati, Joe Flacco, 5.5-point dogs against Cincinnati. Guess who knows this information also? Zach Taylor. Because he completely changed his strategy and said Burrow and the starters are playing in the preseason. So he knows they want to avoid the slow starts. So I know it's going to be an attractive pick for people to say, oh, Cincinnati always starts the season slow, so let's go on Cleveland plus the 5.5. The data's telling me Cincinnati's going to be ready. Cleveland's not. Detroit at Green Bay. Detroit's currently 1.5-point dogs. Houston at the Rams. Stroud against Stafford, and Houston's a 2.5-point dog there. And then Pittsburgh at the Jets. Pittsburgh a 3-point favorite over the Jets. And we know that Rodgers starts off slow. His first game with the Jets after not playing. I
didn't get that one.
Starts off slow.
Yeah, sorry to jump in, but he wanted to play.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why you wouldn't play him, how bad he was last year, and also with the new team and get the rapport going as well. Because I think he's going to start out slow too, and he can stick it to his former team here.
I just look at all these quarterbacks, and what I'm seeing over the years is if you don't get any dropbacks in the preseason, you suffer in week number 1. And it makes sense because we know the NFL season's a marathon, not a sprint, right? Coaches prioritize long-term health over the short-term outcome here. You got to be healthy for the long stretch of the season. You got to do great, especially when the games matter at the end of the year and you're fighting for playoff positioning. Although I always bring this up to the audience whenever I have the chance to. A game in week 1 is the same value as a game in week number 17.
Yeah.
The win counts the same. The loss counts the same.
Yep.
So, and here's an interesting comparison. If you look at quarterbacks, let's go to the extreme here, Paulie. If you look at quarterbacks that have had 30 or more preseason dropbacks in that same time span. 17 quarterbacks fit that mold. Those quarterbacks covering the spread on average by 1.74 points per game. So 0 dropbacks, you're not covering by 2.5 points. 30 dropbacks, you're covering by almost 2 points. How about that? I mean, the data's there. It tells you these preseason reps matter for these quarterbacks. I'd be looking to fade almost every single one of these guys. I know it might be difficult in the games where the two quarterbacks are playing against each other, but I think that's an area where you can look towards the full game under or the first half under. And in that same time span, the 2021, when it changed, unders in week 1, 39 and 24, 62% to the under. So we already have a strong under trend in week number 1, and I think this supports an even stronger under trend for these specific quarterbacks.
Yep, and then you take your life into your hands, considering it's Taylor, but still it points to Cincinnati week 1 at Cleveland.
Yep.
That's big. Fantastic breakdown. Very good. And a couple teams. How about Arizona? Up to 6. Kyler Murray against whatever New Orleans puts out there. That's a tough one.
You're comfortable taking Arizona in Survivor?
Against this outfit, I might be, but I know because everyone's going to take Denver. I don't want to take Washington.
Well, actually, the theory is, I'm glad you brought this up. I have so many debates when it comes to Survivor because the math would tell you that you have to take Philly. That's what the math will tell you. Mm-hmm. The math will tell you take one entry and put it on Philly. And if Philly wins, you just ride it out, and you know that you're playing, a slight disadvantage because you have Philly burned already, whereas everybody else can maybe take somebody else, right? But
here they have a lot of value, though, because of the
But let's say you lose with Philly, right? Now, because of the rules of Circa Survivor, you're allowed to buy in maximum entries again. You could buy in, and now all that dead money that lost with Philadelphia is now an overlay in a contest that never had an overlay. So the value of your entry is now up to, let's say 20% of the pool chooses Philadelphia and they lose. The value of your $1,000 entry is now $1,200 just by Philly losing. So it's a very interesting dynamic. Plus also, if you're 1-0 already with Philly, you don't have to worry about Sunday, right?
Yep.
It's the value of the known information after that Thursday game versus the unknown of, are you going to win or lose on Sunday?
Mm-hmm.
How much is that value to you?
Yeah.
So I guess I gave away my hand. I'm taking Philly with my entry.
It's good. Not a lot of people are going to take them. I know that. You can jump in. I know. But that's also how's it going to break down with Washington's going to be popular and Denver will be the most selected team. And I think
how about that line movement, though?
Yeah,
the Giants catching all the money. And I agree because the Giants were 7-point dogs. They look great in the preseason, plus a little bit uncertainty with Terry McLaurin.
Yep.
The line moved down to 6.5. And as the Giants are getting more and more love here in the preseason, this line's down to 6 now.
Yeah, well, they have a bright future, no doubt, with what they have in the pieces and how they're drafting. So you're set up for years with Dart and Neighbors and Scattaboo and Carter and Lawrence. They look good. But how long? It was a good discussion last night, too. Yeah. I would say you see Dart by the Saints game, week 6. Is that too aggressive?
I think so.
Yeah?
I don't think you see Dart unless Brian Dable's out of a job. Now, some people would say, well, Brian Dable's going to try and save his job and put Jackson Dart in because he has to win.
But the schedule's brutal, but right,
listen, the kid's a rookie. Mm. He's going to take time to develop. The best course of action to win football games right now is Russell Wilson, and he makes the offense better. Whatever you think of him, he makes the offense better right now. I don't think we see Jackson Dart unless the season gets so far away from the Giants that Dable's out of a job, and then you're starting him just to get a leg up on next season. Mm-hmm. That's what I think.
Okay, very good. The crowd loves him already, and they'll be chanting his name if Wilson gets off to a slow start. The betting splits cut through the noise here at VSiN, pulling real-time data straight from Circa and DraftKings. Track the percentage of bets and handle on every game across every major sport, so you can make sharper, more informed bets. Start your edge today, just $9.99. VSiN.com/subscribe. VSiN.com/subscribe. We have a new favorite in the Bear game tonight, too. Kansas City was favored. The favorites flipped there. Now the Bears are 2 at Kansas City, and the total went from 38.5 up to 43.
Makes a lot of sense.
That's both coaches saying they're playing people.
Yeah, and also I think Ben Johnson is a guy who he told Kay Adams earlier in the week that he was like, yeah, my guys are going to play. But he also said that every good play that you saw in that second preseason game was like nothing. It was old stuff. And he's like, you haven't seen anything yet.
Yeah.
So I think he's got some stuff up his sleeve.
Okay. Anything Minnesota, Tennessee? No McCarthy tightens up to 3.5.
I'm avoiding it.
Got that, yeah. Okay. Run the ball, go home, get out of here. Total stays at 37 on that one. Our college football analyst up next, Ben Stevens. 2 girls, 1 cup, 2 props, a side, and a total. We'll go over all the games in Week 0, rapid fire. We'll start off with Farmageddon, a good one. 2 ranked teams going at it. Scott's got a good breakdown on this as well. That's coming up on VSiN, Follow the Money, the Sports Betting Network. Live from Circa, Sirius XM, Channel 158.
This season with VSiN's College Football Betting Guide, exclusive to VSiN Pro subscribers. It's packed with 136 team previews, preseason top 25 rankings, and best bets from our experts. Pro subscribers also get the NFL Betting Guide, daily best bet emails, exclusive splits, and full access to our premium betting tools. Sign up now at VSiN.com/subscribe for just $9.99 for your first 30 days. Or save 50% with an annual Pro subscription and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
All right, back at it. Here we go. College football gets underway tomorrow with a good one. 9 a.m. Pacific from Ireland. Ranked opponents collide. Iowa State, Kansas State. We're going to run it all down now with Ben Stevens, our college football analyst here at VSiN. He's on the Progressive guest line. He joins us now to go rapid fire. Appreciate the time, sir. The total has moved to 51. There's a 51.5 out there. What number did you get? What do you recommend in the first game?
Yeah, Paulie, I bet the over of 49.5, hoping we would get 50-plus points. That's the way the market is working right now, and I do agree. It's just an overall thought I have for Big 12 football, at least entering this season in 2025. There is so much returning talent at the quarterback spot put on full display tomorrow in Dublin between Avery Johnson for K-State and Rocco Becht on the other side for Iowa State. Such great returning talent and production at the QB spots really across the entirety of the compact and competitive Big 12 conference this year. I think we see offense, at least to start, have the edge over the defensive side. And when you look at these two teams, the Wildcats and the Cyclones, last year, not nearly the standard on that defensive side of the ball that we had seen and had become what we anticipate under Chris Kleiman in the Little Apple, and of course under Matt Campbell there in Ames. We start with Iowa State. They allowed more than 188 rushing yards per game a season ago. That was the second worst rushing defense in all of the Big 12. So I expect Avery Johnson, with the dynamic athlete he is, the QB spot, alongside him in Dylan Edwards, to at least start solidly on the ground over there in Ireland to kind of get that offense generated and to see some of that scoring production. On the other side for K-State, they allowed more than 23 points per game last year. It was the only time in the 5 full years under Kleiman that K-State has allowed more than 22 points per game. The only time they ranked outside the top 30 in FBS college football in terms of that scoring defense nationally. I think the defenses can be improved throughout this season, but I think from the very start in this top 25 tilt, I'm going to trust the quarterbacks and the offense is a little bit more to win the day and at least see 50 points. I think as that total continues to trickle up, you still have an okay shot right now, 51, 51.5. Happy I got it to get over 49.5 and see at least 50 points.
Well, Ben, the strategy that I'm going to use, because I agree with you, I love the quarterbacks returning, but we have to acknowledge that there's new pieces, though. Like, Iowa State loses 2 NFL wide receivers. We have a running back on from Kansas State. So I think that I actually like the first quarter to go under 10.5, but I am so invested in a live in-game over. Because I agree, once these offenses get in a groove, they're going to have the advantage over these defenses. I just think with the travel, with the unfamiliarity of the circumstance, plus, there's no preseason in college football. I think there might be a couple of stalled drives early, but there's a great opportunity to bet an in-game over. That's the way I'm going to handle this.
Yeah, and Scott, I think you're spot on there as well, especially as we start to get that public love, excitement, and fervor for the first Saturday of the college football season. People are going to want to see that offense and points early on. We could wake up tomorrow by the time we get ready for that noon Eastern kick over in Ireland. That total could be north of 52. It could be working its way up. So I think the ability to potentially see a slow start with the change in circumstance inside the rugby stadium that is Aviva Stadium over there in Dublin, you can see a slower start and then the offense start to pick up because it's also college football. These are college kids, 19, 20, 21 years old. A lot of the COVID eligibility and experience that was gone at the end of the 2024 season. Some new pieces and some new faces to break in for both of these squads in 2025. I will say for K-State, 4th most returning production in all of the Big 12 this year, top 15 in the country. A lot of that on the offensive side of the ball. It's why I'm trusting in the likes of Avery Johnson and Dylan Edwards to kind of move things along, at least starting on the ground, taking advantage of a Cyclones defense that was porous defending the run a season ago. And then we can see what happens later in the game. But I do believe those abilities to get some live bets to the over tomorrow, a great way to approach this Week 0 thriller.
You want to ladder Avery Johnson?
I would love to.
Yeah.
Because I think when you look at it right now, Paulie, over 47.5 is the number that I got earlier this week. Avery Johnson was a quarterback last year that I thought had some Heisman value in the preseason betting markets. He didn't live up necessarily to that high billing in the preseason, but still ended up with a great season. And you saw some of that both through the air and especially on the ground, including in Farmageddon a year ago to end out November against Iowa State. 6 games last year for Avery Johnson with at least 10 carries on the ground. In all 6 of those games, he had at least 57 yards, averaging 74 on the ground, including against that bad rushing defense of a year ago in those Cyclones. So I think Avery Johnson will be one of those consistent pieces for Chris Kleiman and the K-State offense to trust at the very start. I think you go over 47.5. You could get 50, 60 plus, all of that in the realm of possibility for Avery Johnson. And one of the things, of course, guys, that you both know, in college football, a quarterback's rushing yards prop can be a little murky and dicey at times because sack yardage is taken out of that rushing yards number. Not the same thing as it is in the National Football League. Iowa State a year ago, only 16 total sacks for that defensive front. Even the year prior, only 21, ranking in the bottom 30 in FBS college football in each of the previous 2 years. So the Cyclones' calling card the last few seasons has not been about pressuring the quarterback or sacking the quarterback, taking away some of those yards from the rushing number.
Excellent. Follow the money. VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Paulie Howard, Scott Seidenberg, Ben Stevens, our guest, our new college football analyst on the Progressive guest line. Let's go to Kansas. Matt Entz takes over for Fresno. They're catching 2 touchdowns. Why do you like the dog?
Yeah, I like Fresno State plus 13.5, Paulie, for one of the guys that you mentioned right there. Matt Entz, a 2-time national championship winning head coach at North Dakota State, known for his defensive acumen. Shocked a lot of people around this time last offseason when we learned he would not be there for NDSU, but rather taking a linebacker's job, the linebackers coach at USC under Lincoln Riley for an improved defense last year for those Trojans of Southern Cal. He gets the bump immediately now to be an FBS head coach at Fresno State. When I start with the Bulldogs, a team that has winning pedigree that out there in Fresno, California, they have only been an underdog of 13 plus points 3 times since 2018. In all 3 of those games, they have covered 3-0 against the number, including last year in the Big House against the Wolverines in Ann Arbor. That, of course, being Michigan. In 2 of those 3 games, Fresno State nearing a 2-touchdown underdog. They have kept it to a single score. I think Kansas wins. I think the version of KU we saw down the stretch causing chaos as the underdog in the Big 12 championship race, not for the Jayhawks, but for the entirety of the conference outside of Lawrence, Kansas, is the form that we will see early. KU starting the year 1-5 a season ago, winning 4 of their final 5, including those 3 games against Colorado, BYU, and Iowa State outright as an underdog to change the course of the Big 12. I expect Kansas to probably be around a 7 or 8 win football team in this competitive conference, maybe with a shot of making their own run at a conference championship game appearance in early December. I do think Kansas wins, but I think because of that defensive acumen that Matt Entz is bringing to Fresno State with some real quality in the back end in that secondary, Fresno State has enough defensively to keep this game within 2 touchdowns.
Ben, we've seen a flip of the favorite in that Hawaii-Stanford game. Stanford opens up as a short favorite. Hawaii now up to minus 2.5, and I think that's even going to go further. And we know key numbers aren't as important in college football as they are in the NFL, but when it comes to this being the last game of the first Saturday of college football, more public money is going to come in as we progress throughout the day here tomorrow. I could see this line going to minus 3. Would you be comfortable laying it with Hawaii?
Yeah, it's really interesting, Scott, when you look at that number. As you get to 3, it's not exactly a key number in college football, but I think it speaks, one, to the Rainbow Warriors. The improvement we have seen with Timmy Chang, 5 wins each of the past 2 years, doesn't sound like a ton, but they are moving in the right direction. And offensively is where I really look. A quarterback last year, Micah Alejado, that made his first start during his time with the Rainbow Warriors in their regular season finale against New Mexico, throwing for freshman records at UH of 469 yards against the Lobos in 5 passing touchdowns. Again, records at Hawaii for a quarterback during his first collegiate start. And that's an area where I think you can attack Stanford. 4th worst passing defense in all of college football, allowing more than 280 yards per game a season ago. Of course, an offseason of tremendous change in Palo Alto. Andrew Luck takes over as that head coach. They make the change in the head coaching position. Frank Reich steps now in as the interim head man this year for the Cardinal. We'll see how that plays out. When you're looking at these numbers, the home field advantage of Hawaii hosting Stanford in this game, despite the Cardinal being perfect in their trips out to the islands against Hawaii in years past, I still think that Hawaii is deserving of being the favored side. So even at 3, in a game I don't necessarily expect to be decided by just a field goal, maybe a single score, but probably closer to that touchdown margin than the field goal margin, it makes a lot of sense because at least to start, and again, a lot can change, but at least to start, the areas of exposure that I like more is Hawaii taking advantage through the air with a Timmy Chang offense led by Micah and a lot of great receivers at his disposal.
Great to talk to you, my friend. We'll do it next week. Go get him. Good luck.
Appreciate it, guys. Enjoy week 0. Thanks for having me.
You got it. It's Ben Stevens. He also likes the Hawaii wide receiver over, Nick Senecal, over his receiving yards in that game as well. Follow the money. VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Paulie Howard, Scott Seidenberg. Up next, win, lose. Oh, boy, I can't believe what happened in the WNBA. Number 1, Kevin Rogers did a great job with his first quarter numbers that hit. Angel Reese does it again. The favorites get there in the NFL. And no joke, one of the worst beats I've ever seen. Straight ahead, follow the money. The Sports Betting Network.
Betting game with VSiN's exclusive betting splits. Stay ahead with real-time market trends and track bet percentages on any matchup, then uncover the edge by comparing them to the amount of bets placed to find out where the sharp money is headed. Upgrade to VSiN Pro to access betting splits, live odds, line moves, power ratings, and in-depth game analysis. Go to vsin.com/pro to join VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Win Some, Lose Some is sponsored by the Sharp Plays.
Were you a winner last night?
Wow, winning.
Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser!
Paulie Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
The Chicago Sky were catching 15.5 last night. Went into New York and shocked the Liberty. Plus 850 on the money line. Angel Reese goes over her points prop again. She's on a 12-1 run. 6 overs in a row in the first quarter for the Sky with Reese playing. That was from Kevin Rogers. That got there. She's gone under her rebound. Remember I talked about this yesterday? It's flipped. She's gone under her rebound prop now, 7 of 8. It's not about the me, but she's scoring now. And 12-1 run, and she's not grabbing the board, so she just missed on that. With 10. And the Mystics, Kevin Rogers told you this one. 6 straight unders, first quarter as a road favorite. Here are the points. 10, 9, 11, 11, 10, and 13. That comes in and they lose outright. Flip side, you got the Aces, who have won 9 in a row. And they get there as well. It was a blowout, so Wilson stayed under her points prop in that one. Highest scoring game, Dodgers-Rockies, 4-1. Every team to score in Major League Baseball, yes, plus 320. Did not have the shutout yesterday. This happened while we were on the air. Brewers win plus 120, 14 in a row when Priester pitches. And the NFL, Giants plus 2.5 to minus 5, and the Steelers plus 3 to minus 6.5. Both get there. Giants easy. Thompson, 11 of 13, 152 yards for Pittsburgh. CFL game. Winnipeg, 4.5 up to 7. That cashes as well. Subscribe, be part of the team. VSiN.com, our radio and podcast friends. You always want to see these tweets and videos at Paulie Does Vegas on Instagram. Send it in. We'll put you on. I mentioned this yesterday. Yesterday at the stadium, it was Seinfeld night. You got a George.
That's amazing.
Can you look at the line? You got a George Costanza bobblehead from the episode where he takes a nap under his desk, and the line was, nothing beats a good nap. Sometimes it's the only thing that gets me out of bed in the morning. Look at this line.
Was that not allowed?
Is that frowned upon? Yeah. You had sex with the cleaning lady on your desk? Look at the line. People are like, it's a New York thing. I mean, no, it's not. I mean, it was one of the biggest shows ever. I don't think it's just a New York thing, but they go crazy for the Costanza bobblehead last night before the Red Sox game. Oh, that's something. This is gangster. Friend of the show, David Baker, just walked in. He got the Grandissimo, and then he did the Full House. This is the real Full House. He did the Grandissimo for $100,000, and then he did 10 Circa Survivor and 5 millions. With the plaques, look at the $25,000 plaques, and he just, well, it helps. He just won $600,000 at the World Series of Poker.
Yeah.
My God. Here's to feeling good all the time. How about Stevie Cohen? Hey, good job out of you, Stevie. Micah the Mad Dog. That's his. Look at Ruby. He watches this dog, Ruby. He's 50 pounds. He gets a running start at you. You got to be careful, right? He understands how big he is, but he'll come right up. He's 50 pounds. I think he's a boxer. He comes running right at you. Incoming! He's a big guy. Look at that. There he comes jumping on the couch there. That's a good job. Stevie Cohen sent that in.
Yeah, true story, Mikey.
You got that? Yeah. How'd you get that? Did you fly? Did you take the train? Very good. Liberty, 11 up to 15, no good, and the ace is over. 165.5 up to 170. Not close with that one. Here's what I was talking about. Lynx first quarter. They were up 9 with less than 2 minutes. 10-0 run for the Dream. How could you can't cash that ticket?
That was the Malinsky special, right?
Yes.
Wow.
Correct. You couldn't cash that ticket. Lynx up 9 in the first quarter, less than 2 minutes. There's not even that many possessions left. 10-0 run for Atlanta. And again, if you had Carolina first half money line, I don't know. There was less than 30 seconds left. The Steelers were down 3. They threw a 50-yard pass, completed, bring out the field goal unit, bam. And we're tied at halftime. Before the line moves, the sharp play's already there. They don't just follow the market, they help move it. You're not going to outsmart billion-dollar books or full-time sharps on your own. With the sharp plays, you don't have to. Powered by advanced AI, plugged into trusted insider sources. Sharp Plays delivers the edge serious bettors use every day. Free reports, real-time alerts, market-moving insights sent straight to your inbox or X feed. Not some weekend hustle or weekend hobby. Since 2011, they've delivered documented results, public logs, transparent receipts. SharpPlays.com. Trusted by pros, watched by the books. Visit SharpPlays.com and stay ahead of the line. We got a funny tweet. You want to read that, share that tweet?
Yeah, 209 tweeting at me. Also says part of his handle is that he beat stage 4 cancer. So God bless. Good for you, man. Congratulations.
God bless.
He says, quote, every time I see Scott Seidenberg, I think his real name is Vito. And he is a mafia government informant in the witness protection program who risks it all by appearing on VSiN. I mean, this guy's blowing up my spot.
Very good, yes.
What are you trying to get? What are you trying to get me whacked? Keep your mouth shut. Come on.
Yeah, that's great.
What do you know?
Yeah. You do Sopranos reruns marathon every time?
Absolutely. I rewatch probably every couple of years. I give myself a rewatch.
You're a Jersey guy or went to college in Jersey?
Jersey guy, went to college in North Jersey, took a class.
Bada Bing, Pine Barrens, you ever been?
Well, it's the Satin Dolls is the real name
Satin
of the place.
Dolls, there you go.
Hasbrook Heights. but I took a class in college about the Sopranos, actually. Breaking down the themes and all the
what was it
hidden
called?
imagery called Deconstructing the Sopranos.
Get out of here.
I swear.
Oh, that's phenomenal.
Got an A. One of the few classes I did get an A.
Damn right.
Yeah.
You better
the homework assignment was just watch an episode. It's great. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. You got to do a marathon, do a rewatch once every 18 months, 2 years. You got to knock that out.
For sure.
That's great. That's a phenomenal story. Awesome. No Pine Barrens?
Oh, I've been down there.
Yeah, okay. You ever dig a hole?
No.
Okay, good.
But his apartment looked terrible.
What do they call it? Interior decorator?
Yeah.
That was great. The Russian.
That guy you whacked. He's in interior ministry. 14 Chechen rebels. Tony says he was some sort of interior decorator.
Oh, it was a great episode.
Really?
Phenomenal.
His apartment looked like crap.
Yep, right. Oh, it was good.
How about last night? I had Yankees first 5. 2-2 score.
Big.
Bottom of the 5th inning. I mean, it's a free roll at that point, right? Because, you're going to push. 2 outs. Blooper over Trevor Story's head. Can't handle it. Running out into the outfield. Aaron Judge scores from second. Cash the Yankees first 5. But then the Yankees lose the game because their bullpen's absolutely terrible.
Brutal. I know.
8th highest bullpen ERA in Major League Baseball.
What do you think? Boston's beat them 5 in a row. They're 6-1 against them this year. How is Max Fried $1.90? ERA of 7 in his last 8. Judge 2 of 17 career against Bale. He's got a 2-2-1 last 9 against the Yankees. Boy, this is a big price you're paying here with the Yankees.
I'm looking over tonight.
Okay.
I think over's the way to go. I think you're getting a discount on the total because it's Max Fried.
Yep.
This total should be 9.5. It's Yankees Red Sox. It's as I mentioned, the Yankees' 8th worst bullpen ERA in Major League Baseball. And you said it, Fried, a 9+ ERA in the month of August. He had almost a 6 ERA in the month of July. He's been terrible. 4 runs allowed in 7 of his last 8 starts. 4 or more runs, I should say. So to me, the play is the over 8.5. I think the Yankees can get the Bayo. I think their offense is fine. I mean, the offense has been fine. They're still hitting home runs. But I don't trust Max Fried to limit the runs, and I don't trust this Yankee bullpen right now. And I don't think you can. I don't think you can trust anybody. Bednar blows the save against the Rays the other night.
Oh, he's
the guy, guys that you brought
Williams
in,
terrible.
Yeah, you think you can trust these guys? Nope. And Luke Weaver was a guy that was lights out. He gives up the run yesterday to lose the game.
Bellinger hitting 600 career against Bayo. And the other big game, huge series, Dodgers-Padres. First place on the line. Dodgers are 8-2 against the Friars this year at Snell against Darvish.
Am I a glutton for punishment, Paulie? Because I took the Padres in every single game last weekend, thinking that the Padres were playing great baseball, the Dodgers were slumping, and this was their opportunity. They lose all 3 games. Am I a glutton for punishment wanting to take the Padres again now that it's in San Diego?
Yeah.
I think I am.
Well, if you do that, go full game because I took the Dodgers, but it's first 5.
Yeah,
because it's a mismatch with bullpens.
Yeah.
So I'm going to back Snell and the Dodgers first 5 against Darvish because once that Dodger bullpen gets involved, it's scary time. Arise 667 career against Snell in that one as well, and nobody is hotter than Trey Turner. Play those props again. 21 hits in his last 7 games. He's hitting over 600, most for a Philly in 120 years. What he's done. And 11 runs scored as well. So keep riding those Trey Turner props. And how about, we got enough time, Shane Bieber, welcome back. His first start since April 2nd, 2024. He's $1.60 in Miami. Big one for the Blue Jays.
I'm on the Jays first 5.
All right.
Listen to this. Shane Bieber, 29 innings in rehab starts, getting ready for the season. 37 strikeouts, 3 walks, a 1.86 ERA.
Beautiful.
His last start, August 15th, AAA Buffalo. 7 scoreless innings, 4 strikeouts, 6 hits, 0 walks on 90 pitches. His 4-seam velo, The average velocity in his rehab starts, 92.5 miles per hour. That is up 1.2 from his last full season's average. He is stronger now after the Tommy John. Scary. This is a big, big acquisition for the Blue Jays here.
Absolutely. No doubt about it. And Zebby Matthews goes. Let's go over the K prop as well. 5.5. 11.8 strikeouts per 9. 63 Ks. He takes on the White Sox tonight. I think he'll get it done with the K prop. Farmageddon, baby. We'll talk to Alec Bussey up next. He covers